recently watched a movie called Secret of the Whistler, which was a 1940s film, one of a series based on the old-time radio show called The Whistler. And the reason I watched it was because one of the stars was Leslie Brooks. And I've been something of a fan of Leslie Brooks since I saw her starring in the film Blonde Ice, which is a kind of little known but very well made film noir. It deserves a better reputation and to be more widely known than it is, because it was quite well made for not having much of a budget, and very well acted, particularly on Leslie Brooks' part. Leslie Brooks had a successful career, but not one that lasted very long. It was basically the decade of the 1940s that her career was underway. She acted in several movies, and as usual, first in uncredited parts, and then in larger parts, and then in big parts and co-starring or starring parts. And then her career, basically, again, it started in 1941, ended in 1949. And the reason it ended was she got married and became a housewife. And this wasn't universal. A lot of women, even in those days, might continue their careers, they might continue their jobs, but a lot of them didn't. And she was one of those who didn't. And I don't know why she didn't. I don't know if it was a strong preference of her husband, Russ Vincent, who was an actor and director. I don't know if it was her preference. I wasn't there. Not a close friend of the family. But anyway, she did come out of retirement, acting retirement in 1971 to act in a film called How's Your Love Life that was directed by her husband, Russell Vincent. She met him apparently when she made the film Blonde Ice. He played a character who was a pilot. Looked a lot like Humphrey Bogart. And her character murdered his character. But in real life, they had a much better relationship, hopefully, because they did marry. They had and raised children together, and the marriage lasted. It was her second marriage, but the marriage lasted until he died in 2001. She died in 2011. She is the great-grandmother of actress Jordan Rachel. Anyway, that is the history, as far as I know, of Leslie Brooks. I actually asked Nostalgia Digest if they might be interested in an article on her. And I asked, Bear Manor Media if they might be interested in a biography. And both venues answered no. Her career just wasn't long enough, and didn't make as big a splash enough to be worth either an article for Nostalgia Digest or a biography for Bear Manor Media. But I think it's worth a mention, and I'm giving it that mention because I am a fan of Leslie Brooks. And if Jordan Rachel happens to ever catch my Instagram or my YouTube, here's to your grandmother, your great-grandmother. She was a very beautiful, beautiful woman and a fine actress.